Testing 1, 2, 3. All right. This is not a show. This is a impromptu test of my new computer. I've got a show tomorrow, and I just wanted to make sure that this thing can actually broadcast for more than an hour. It's running Mountain Lion. It was pre-installed with that. I tried to get regular Lion installed on it, but was unsuccessful. So far, it has not been exhibiting the problems I had on my previous machine with Mountain Lion, though, so that's good. The question is whether or not it will still have stability for Flash Media Live Encoder and Cam Twist, which are vital to the show. So I'm going to basically be just rambling for as long as I feel I need to test this thing. I probably need to test it for at least an hour because last time it failed at 30 minutes. I don't have anything planned for this, so I'm just going to open up Unity and make a project and just, I don't know, we'll figure something out. I mostly just need to be broadcasting and using the things that I use on the show normally, so I'm going to create a new project called documents. What should we call this? Let's call this... You think I'm not prepared on the show normally, you should see tonight. Dream game, why not? I'm gonna start work on... I had a dream for a little game. It's not particularly interesting. In the dream, it was a retro game that I was playing in the dream. And I just was thinking that I might make it into a game or something. So it's something I could start working on prototyping right now. Give me something to do. So let's see. It's kind of a derelict spaceship type thing. I think the first thing I'd probably tackle on this is other than basic controls is just environmental stuff. Just generating levels and stuff, which I'm not sure if I'm ready brain-wise to work through right now, but I'm going to give it a shot. So let's work with cubes because I like those. So let's first just start with a plane for now. I'm going to make another plane and flip it over. Wrong way. Could have picked either of the other two. So this is, we're going to put this at 0, 0, 0. And the other plane we're going to put at 0, 0, 0. And then let's see, Y1. Let's do Y3. That seems like that would be suitably claustrophobic. I'm just going to stretch these out as far as they want to go. Whoops. Whoops. Same thing with this one. Then I'm going to import the character controller because it's really good for prototyping first-person type games, especially, which happens to be a first-person type of game. Not usually the type of game I like to make, but Unity's well suited for it. Where am I? I have no idea which way I'm looking. I'm so confused. I'm going to put a light in here. Maybe that will help. Yeah. Now it feels like I know what's going on. Oh, these are still in the same place, aren't they? So, plane. No, they're not in the same place. They have different Y coordinates. What the heck? Oh. Wait, what? Y is vertical, right? Oh, I'm way zoomed out, am I not? Okay, so that was the problem. So I just had no concept of this. Let's put another object in here. We want our first-person controller in here somewhere. Put it 0, 0, 0. And we're going to focus on this. No. Focus. Focus. I don't know what I'm doing. Alright. Let's get rid of this main camera. I'm going to make these smaller. I think it's freaking Unity out. Let's do 10 by 10 and 10 by 10. There we go. Alright, well at least now I have a little bit of a horizon line. Yeah, it's so hard to tell what's going on without any texture mapping in there. So I think I'm going to put some temporary ones in. Wasn't good. So floor texture. I like that one. I like that a lot. That's not going to tile though, as is it? I think I'm going to use this one for the ceiling. Wish I could just drag that in. I don't really understand why I can't. And then one for the floor. I guess I shouldn't be spending this much time considering I'm mostly just using this to prototype, but I'd like it to have some semblance of... I mean, I'm going to try this one. I don't need it to be that big. Yeah, actually, let's just keep it honest and just drag these ones. Yeah, I just wish I could do that. I don't get what's different at an OS level between dragging to the desktop and dragging to another program. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot different internally, but that seems like something you'd want to solve externally. Alright, so we're going to put this one. This one is what? Floor, ceiling. Let's throw this on the floor. Throw this on the ceiling. It's just so weird that my camera can't even really, like, the aspect ratio is way different than the actual in-game stuff. Alright, so I've got that. Let's hit play and then adjust these so that they tile a little bit better. Alright, and I need some lighting on this, so I'm going to put another directional light. Is that a good way of going? Yeah, why not? And then we will rotate it some opposite rotation to what it is. that might be too claustrophobic. It's like right on the head. The whole point is I'm kind of making a game where you're in a derelict spaceship. So I want it to feel like the ceiling is low, but I'm not sure if the ceiling has to be that low. As a matter of fact, I'm going to bump it up a little bit. Go to 4. Oh, it's an ISO camera. That's the freaking problem. There we go. Oh, what the heck? Alright, well, then now I feel a lot better about it. That's the reason I couldn't see it, because from an ISO perspective, it would be practically the same thing. Alright, much better, much better. Alright, now I can actually play with this in the editor. Floor tiling 10 by 10. How's that look? Let's do 30 by 30. Yeah, that'll work. And for the ceiling, let's try 30 by 30 as well for now. 30 by 30. Alright, so we got this. It's, yeah, see, now that seems a little too high. I'm getting a lot of interesting mapping from this too. Might have to disable that. Or maybe that's just... No, it's got to be the mapping. Let's actually find out. I'm going to go on the ceiling, and I'm going to find the texture. And we're going to make it so that it is... Oh. Where was this? Generate... Where's generate bitmaps? Well, I guess it's not generating bitmaps. Here, let's put 4x and ISO on here. Yeah, that's much better. That was just the problem. It was just a standard anisotropic filtering problem. That looks tremendously better. Gonna do the same on the floor for right now. I don't know what I'm targeting for this. Like, it was just only a PC game in my dream. So I think I'm going to start with that, although I'd really like to convert it so that it's on mobile, just mostly because there's a market there. There's a market everywhere. I guess I shouldn't be so negative on that, but it just seems like it's easier to break in right now on cell phone games than it is on PC games. There's just a lot to compete with on PC. Am I getting my voice twice? No, that's just me not used to broadcasting again, I guess, even though I do it every Monday, but you'd think I'd be used to it by now. So, what are we doing here? So, we've got a basic layout. That's as basic as it can get. So, let's make some walls. How are we going to generate the walls for this? Maybe I'll just mock them up right now, and then I'll figure out a generation later. So, create cube. I don't know why I'm even doing a texture. I need to figure out how I'm going to do this, because I really... In my dream, you know how dreams are. It's hard to tell what details are there and what details are not, but at least for the feel from my dream, it was supposed to be an older game, but it wasn't a style that was very common. It had a flat shaded style. Like, I don't think there was any texture mapping in the game whatsoever. So every single object was colored based on vertex coloring. And I want to build a vertex coloring system just for this. Actually, that's another thing I want to look into real quick. I'm going to check to see if the asset store has a vertex coloring system. Because if it does, I'm going to probably buy it. Let's see. Vertex color. Simple vertex painter. That sounds nice. Vertex painter plus shader. That sounds nice. Let's see what this one is. It's free. Paint vertex colors on meshes. Yeah, this will probably get me started at the very least. Oh no, you know my emails. But not even I know my password. Hello. Download. Please wait. There we go. Yeah, sure. Let's just import all this, because I'll probably be mulling over it later. Gotta tell you, my machine's certainly quiet. That's nice. My old one, the fan would be kicked in by now. I guess the fan's kicked in on this, but it's just very quiet. I'm very happy with that. So, cubes. Let's see what this vertex pair thing does. Shaders. Oh, perfect. I don't have to read one. Don't have to write one. Let's actually see what it looks like on the inside. Share model 3. Dang it. I'm going to have to make a simpler one probably as a fallback. Thanks to Pixel Studio or whatever your name is. Actually, let's look up what your name is. Let's give these guys some credit. I love free stuff. Vertex color. Yeah, Pixel Studio. Let's see what else these guys do. 2 free things, and they're both based on UVs. Well, at least vertex data. These guys have a website. No, I don't want other edit extensions. Those can go away. I wish they'd link to their site. Let's just search for them. Pixel Studio. That's not a P. There we go. And now let's find out what that is. Probably Netherlands. Netherlands, alright. Nice looking site. I need to make my site looks nice. 30 years old, just like me, working as a Unity programmer. Good knowledge of 3ds Max, not me. Photoshop, C#, yeah. Unity 3D, V-Ray, don't even know what that is. Realistic images. So it's a renderer. That's cool. Alright, well, thank you, Pixel Studio, for making a little free thing that I'm going to be picking apart. And I appreciate it, I really do. So let's look at this again. Specular power, splat count. I think this is more than I need, honestly, for vertex coloring. But I could be wrong. I don't know much about shaders. But it seems like this is going about it kind of a RGB, splat control R. There's so much I need to learn. Let's put this where I usually put it. There we go. Now I got my workflow going. Alright, so let's mock up some walls real quick. So we've got plane and plane. We're going to make this so there's 4 between them, so 1 is 1, so 4. No. 0. Y is 4. And then let's scale out a wall just to see how it works. What am I doing? I want to scale. I guess I can just do it here. Alright, it's looking pretty good. And nothing's crashed so far for my broadcasting, so that's nice. Alright. How do I want to do this? So that's a wall. Let's do another test for like consoles and stuff. Again with cubes for right now. What I think I'm gonna do, I've been playing around with this technique a little bit. This will be our equivalent of a chest-high wall. Let's drag out the X direction a little bit. I'm not making anything particular right now, just doing some tests to see how things feel. That's too high. Too high. Let's move this down to 1.5 and Y is 0.75. Yeah, that's just about right. You could shoot over that if you needed to. Use it as cover. Keep enemies between you and them. That's good. Wall, total wall there. So doors can be the absence of walls. And that's probably how I'm going to set this up. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up prefabs for wall types and console types. And then I'm going to set them up so in the case of the walls, they can be any length. I probably can do that with the consoles too. But I'm probably going to stick to whole numbers though. So that way at least I can control visual look. So maybe the so consoles shouldn't be the same length. Maybe I shouldn't do this with lengths. Maybe I should actually do it with separate objects. Because if I do actually go with the style I'm going for, which is totally flat shaded, that's going to be real easy to make a single draw call. So, because everything can have the same material and just use different vertex coloring data. As far as what the style I want to kind of look like, there's a couple games that exist, although I can't remember the names of all. There was this really weird 3D hockey game from like the Windows 95, 96 era. And I can't... Maybe it was 98, I don't know. But it was just one of these things that was made by a small group, and it was all flat shaded. It was kind of cool. And it was back when polygon games were not common, so it was just cool to have anything. But that has this style. But the one I can remember, even though it's a really strange game, is Sentinel. And I think I'm just going to search for screenshots because I've got this set at the 10 frames per second, so a video of it will kind of be done badly. Actually, you know, whatever. I'm gonna look for it. YouTube Sentinel Amiga. It was released for a lot of platforms, but I think the Amiga is probably the best version. Well, let's look at the Atari ST if that's what comes up first. But yeah, this is kind of the graphical style I'm thinking about, just all flat shaded. As a matter of fact, the characters are very similar to what I had in my dream. I'm sure that whatever neurons were firing were based on this game. I always think this game is really interesting. The reason it goes to the blue screen and does the music, that's it's so genius. I love these people. The people who made this game, you can look around. I'm not sure if in the video you can see him panning very much. This guy kind of knows what he's doing. Let me find a video where someone does not know what they're doing. Because when they don't know what they're doing, you can pick out what the gameplay's like a little bit better. Just do whatever. I'm done with you. Let's try the C64 version, which is even more insane. And yeah, I guess the internet just hates me now. Does this one still work? Yeah, this one works. Let's try not fast forwarding. Let's just play it from the beginning.
Hello and welcome to my first review about one of my childhood favorites from the Commodore 64. This game isn't actually easy to describe, but I try my best. For short, you have to and go into hyperspace to win the game. So, now to the gameplay.
Okay, so see how he's panning around? This is the Commodore 64, and this is a 3D game, and he's panning around the scene. In real time. That is amazing. And the way this game actually did it is really fascinating. The whole gameplay was dictated by what the programmer could do in this game to actually make it render. So what had happened was, instead of rendering a scene that is your viewport, you know how you do stuff on Unity and you have a view, this thing, and you render to it. He was actually rendering to a bitmap that's larger than the screen. Like, it goes out in all directions, and it's kind of a panoramic. It's a panoramic rendering. So it loops. So you can actually rotate in place and see everything. It's kind of like, actually, good example. Google's Google Maps system. They have it so you can do the street view, and each node you can look all around you. It's like a panorama of everything. That's what this thing generates. And so when you teleport in the game, the little musical notation and
the
and
SDL
pause,
and the comma key on the...
I'm talking over him. Let's just mute him. But yeah, the little music note and pause on the blue screen is just it doing the rendering process. And actually, that's really clever too, what they did there too, where it renders out the pixels. That's neat. I don't know. I'm always impressed by this old stuff, just because, like, this is on 64K of RAM. Like, people don't even understand. They can't even comprehend that these days. Just because you've got gobs and gobs and gobs and gobs of RAM. But yeah, you can see that it does render really fast too. Like, they did a really good job on this. Really fascinating game. I keep saying they. Is it Microprose on this one? That might be the publisher. Let's look at. Again, I'm BSing right now, so I just to test my equipment here. this is not normally what I do in an episode where I just web surf and stuff. I do web surf for answers and stuff, but I try to make it shorter. Sentinel Game Wiki. I wouldn't mind doing a show like this where I just talk about stuff and just show stuff off to people, but like, all right, there he goes. Firebird is the poser. So Jeff Cremond, definitely UK. Formula 3. Super Invaders. For the BBC Micro. That is awesome. I gotta see it. I gotta find it. I love this because, like, the first thing that people did, of course, when they had computers and could program for them, is they tried to duplicate stuff that they saw in other games. And I mean, we see this everywhere. Like, this is how games evolve. And it's one of those things where it's weird because there is the copyright thing, and I respect that, and I believe in copyright, and I don't think that it's a perfect system, but I think it's a good system. But it's one of those things where it's just like, everyone's copying everyone constantly, and in games there's no exception. And like, I mean, we see it all the time, and to varying degrees of disgust and varying degrees of copy too. Like, the simple fact is, right now, if you make a game that has a specific type of gameplay, and someone else duplicates that gameplay but does not duplicate the sound, graphics, and when they duplicated the gameplay, they didn't steal any of your source code, that right now is legal, or at least borderline legal, and it should be. Like, I believe that. Like, it's hard, it's tough when you have a really great idea and then someone runs with it, but like, you need to think of it like, if you make a great thing, a really great idea, something that no one has done before, and you find moderate success, and you find other people just clamoring to make more of your stuff. Just 1-800-Flowers.com. That's great. I should have this closed for any broadcasts I do, just for any sake. Anyway, well, where was I? I'm rambling is what I'm doing. I don't know. I just love all the little games. Like, people just made I don't want to do that because I think that affects the volume of everything. People just make these little games because they like them. I mean, and this is an improvement on Space Invaders, certainly. There's graphical improvement, at least. The gameplay is identical. It has the same sound effects in some cases. Probably not ripped. I mean, those sound effects were generated at the time anyway. Back when there wasn't enough room to fit anything in PCM. Improvement on the def. I don't know. That's funny. Let's see what they ended up doing. Grand Prix 4 for Xbox. Microprose published this one. Let's find out what this looks like. I'm obsessed with video games. This is the kind of thing I do. I will find out about a game, and then I'll find out who made it, and I'll find out other things that they've made, just so that I know. I just like to see where things start and where things go to. So let's see. There's someone playing this game. Lower frame rate for you guys, but it's smooth and looks like a good little simulation. That's awesome. I don't know. I just like to see developers grow and do things. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'd like to believe that that'll happen to me someday. I'll grow up and have games that people care about.
Hello and welcome to my first review
we're back to
about
this.
what
That scared the Jesus out of me. I'm trying to keep cussing to a minimum on my show, and sometimes I fail at that. And I probably have failed at it at times when I didn't even notice, but hopefully you won't notice too at those times because it'll just roll off the tongue. But it's when I notice and halfway through, and then I'm like, well, I can't take back that half of a cuss word, so whatever. I may have mentioned this before, but I kind of cuss like a sailor in real life. So I guess sailors cuss a lot. I've heard that expression a lot, but now that I think about it, I don't actually know that many sailors. Yeah, I think I've done enough testing. This thing hasn't crashed yet or anything, and I haven't noticed any problems. Hopefully that will still be the case tomorrow. Is Phil here tomorrow? No, Phil's not going to be here tomorrow. Oh, man, tomorrow's the worst day to be testing this out live. I probably should just keep running this for a while. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my audio off, and, well, I can't work on the stuff I need to work on tonight. I've got some contract work to do tonight. I think I'm just going to have it display the Pushy Pixel screen and just have it stream that, even though it's not really an equivalent test. But yeah, I'm just going to throw this up there and just do my work and keep this streaming for now. And I'm going to switch off the audio. There's no way to switch it off completely, is there? Oh, yeah, I can do that. I'll just, yeah. Anyway, good night, folks. If you're watching this, I apologize.